Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, April 3rd. It is 2025, and today has been pretty solid. So I woke up at 6:30, like one of my goals was, and I did take my mom to work, like one of my goals was. Now we have Wagon's Hoe in. We're supposed to be there in like 5 minutes, but Corey's playing his game, so we're gonna be a little late, which is fine. And then I work at 4, so we're gonna have to leave that a little early. I need to make a morning video log, and I already brushed my teeth, so that's pretty sick. Yeah, that's pretty much all the goals for the day. It's gonna be a super packed day. I was like, Wagon's Hoe is very fun, and there's a lot going on. So, let's see if we can keep. I don't even know how many 9-year-olds there's gonna be, but well, probably 100 9-year-olds, 100 fourth graders in check for a little while, and see if we can actually like get them to pay attention. I was like, that would be pretty fun. My mom warned me, like, hey, you are a teacher's son, you might be a bit of a celebrity, and all my kids are huggers this year. And I was like, okay, cool. So I was like, you might want to not show up looking like a homeless person, but yeah, no. So yeah, that's all I got going for today. Anything else? Now I was like, I probably wouldn't even have time to edit and upload any of the video logs that I need to do, so I'm not like too worried about that. I feel like the sleep needs to go better. Yeah, other than that, I was just playing some Kingdom Deliverance this morning, chilling, doing really nothing. I was like, I guess I could have done work this morning, but I don't like doing it early in the morning, you know? It's nice to just chill in the dark and do nothing and have fun with life. Enjoy it a little bit while I'm in the process. Gosh, why are you being difficult? I feel like this has looked better in other times. I don't understand why it's being difficult now. What is this? You are supposed to be rolled more, but you don't roll more. Anyways, yeah. So, pretty exciting day. I'll let you all know how it goes. See ya.
One eternity later.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Today is still March 3rd. March, bro. It is not March 3rd. April 3rd, 2025. It was a Thursday. We actually achieved all the goals for the day, so I'm gonna be chilling here for a little while. I did brush my teeth, did make a morning video log. I did get my mom to work in the morning. We did go to Wagon's Hoe this morning, and then I did make it to work on time, and I woke up early. So that was all the things I like really wanted to do for the day. My computer might ding here in a second. We'll see. Waiting. Knew it. Okay, cool. There's the ding. But yeah, gosh, come on. There we go. Now I can see myself. Yeah, day was actually pretty solid so far. After I made a video log, I left for Wagon's Hoe pretty quickly. We ended up not. My mom told me to be there like, oh yeah, 8:15. So I was like trying to get Corey like, let's go. And then so we got there like 8:20, and then we ended up waiting in the hallway for like 20 minutes. We were literally just sitting there because the people who do the event hadn't like shown up yet, which is cool, whatever. And then so they got there, we were starting to help set up and everything. My little brother and I were definitely one of the more proactive volunteers there. And I mean, everyone's just chilling. Like, we're all adults. We're all just walking around, being helpful, whatever. Someone tells you to do something, do it, whatever. But yeah, so me and Corey kind of had first. I don't want to say first dibs on the. We had our eyes set on the station we wanted. So there's like 12 stations in a horseshoe around this wagon, right? And it's meant to mimic like pilgrimage and like pioneers like throughout the Oregon Trail or whatever. So like things they would actually do, like washing clothes by hand, fetching water from a well, like a pump, like lassoing animals, like cutting wood, like crafting, like yeah, small craft things like making toys, making leather, branding things, um, making butter, like sitting there shaking a little jar with a marble in it for butter, like cool things like that. That like you're sitting there, wow, they used to do that. That's crazy. And so me and Corey took up the sawing station, and it was very interesting. Very interesting. There was a couple of like special ed kids, and dude, they were some of the most, I would say, like, I don't want to say most effective ones at sawing, but they were the ones who were just like, I want to do that. And then so they were like, yeah, Noel, you want to like try that? And he like came over and he was like, And I was like, okay, Noel, like, I'm getting the same directions as everyone else. 2 hands on the saw. Your buddy here's gonna have 2 hands on the saw. You just do long strokes back and forth, pull as many teeth as you can. And he was like, and he was like small, like little kid, like small. And so I was like helping him pull, but I was just like, dude, you got the motion down, you got the rhythm down, like your hips are engaged. So I'm sitting here like, he's cooking, he is cooking with it, bro. And so we were like rotating through, and there were some 9-year-olds who were like making inappropriate comments, like, "Oh, this piece of wood is pretty average. Oh, I would say this piece of wood is massive, actually." And they were just like being generally negative, and I was just like, "Guys, if you're gonna keep playing like that, I can't have you use a sharp tool. Like, you need to stop." And I'm like, I'm a pretty goofy guy, but when there's sharp objects involved with 9-year-olds, dude, I'm sitting there like, "Nah, bro, we ain't playing that game." Like, you got to take this seriously. And so they like kind of took it seriously, and then I was just like, okay, you two need to switch out. Like, I'm not playing around with you guys playing around. And they were like, oh, okay. And they like dicked off or whatever. And then Corey was chilling on a log, bro. So there was 2 different like sawing stations. So one is like this huge saw that you have to like pull back and forth, and then there's a more like manageable hand saw that you can kind of like crank, right? So mine was the small one, the small log, but the issue is the thing we were using to hold the logs held the big one in place. All Corey had to do was sit on it, dude. All you had to do was sit there, just chat them up. I'm sitting there holding the stick with all my. I'm sitting there like, good thing I'm push up level 26 right now, dude. I'm like wrangling it as they're pulling the saw through. It was crazy. But yeah. And then so lunch was in like an hour and a half after all the introductions and everything. And so we ended up like, Corey was like, "Hey mom, I'm dipping out." He was like, "Give me the car keys." And I was like, "Dude, let's just both leave." Like, I'm not gonna do the saw station with someone else. So we went and got Chipotle, and Anna had expected us to stay the whole time. So coming home and surprising her with some Chipotle was pretty nice. And then we watched a couple episodes of the originals, so we had like free time during the day. I was like, "Dude, good." And then yeah, before work we wanted to go get more Chipotle. Like, Anna was like really hungry for it. We went there and they were out of all the meat but chicken, and we were like, no. So we just went straight to work, and then ended up eating at work. I had Canton special fried rice and a large pork fried rice with some of the pork chow mein that Anna's table didn't really want, and then so we like split that. And then yeah, work was actually not bad. I didn't get my first table for like an hour once I got there. But my first table was this regular dude. He always orders a ton of food, and then like tips really well. So he took me $20 a day. I was just like, hero right there, hero, goddamn hero. And so I was like, with the recession coming, bro, hero. With tariffs coming, bro, hero, right? And so yeah, that was pretty cool. And then anything else interesting? Joseph was taking the job a little bit more seriously under the threat of, being fired. And then that was pretty cool. My cousin Zaine came in with his wife Haley and their daughter Azalea. And Azalea is like actually adorable. Just a little baby they had sat on the table. And my cousin was telling me they had the I Am Legend 2 movie coming out. I didn't even know, like a sequel to I Am Legend. And then they were talking about like a How to Train Your Dragon live action. And they were talking about there was some other movie that was coming out that was also a sequel, and I'm just like, dude, every movie's a sequel. No, get it out. You can't escape sequels, dude. Like, every movie's a sequel. And I'm sitting there just like, can we have an original movie? Just one original movie, dude. So yeah, I was like geeking out over that. I was like, okay, one original movie, not one, okay. And then he showed me some movie. He's like, "This one's an original," and it looked mid. And I was just like, "Brother, don't even get me started, bro." But yeah. And then we ended up closing relatively early. It was like 20 minutes early, and then Anna and I had like left. And then yeah, came home, and I was just now I was like dinking around in like editing images. And so I was like looking at my RLRS thumbnail, and I was like, it's kind of like missing something, like a little bit of pizzazz. And so I was like, the letters are kind of hard to read, like the real life RuneScape part. And I was like, they just need like a trim. And I was like, RuneScape has armor trim. And so I like looked up what is the coolest armor trim in RuneScape, and one of the Reddit comments was just like, I think gold trimmed black armor is still the coolest. Like black, you can't go wrong with black and yellow, dude. And so I literally started like gold trimming my letters, and it's actually like not turning out to be shit. And so I was kind of like, oh, I might be cooking, bro. I might low key be cooking. And so I'm gonna dink around with that and see if I can't come up with like a cooler thumbnail for that. But it's really interesting how the skills I'm gaining as a, you know, you don't want to say as a YouTuber, that's just being unemployed. But the skills you're gaining is like putting work into YouTube videos is like, it's so many more buckets that you're like drawing experience from than a regular job. Like I'm not really gaining like social skills, but never in my life did I think I'd need to use graphic design or any artistic skill or anything like that I'm like sitting here now like using, and I'm like, this is so sick, so cool. And it's just like it's a new experience, and that's like itching a certain part of my brain, and I'm just like, yes, bro, like something new to do is so cool. So yeah, that's been my day pretty much. I'll set some goals tomorrow morning on the video. I don't really know what we're doing today or tomorrow for like a plan or anything. And yeah, I'm just going to chill out and go pass out. That's pretty much the day. Anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Mine was pretty solid myself. I have nothing to complain about. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go into a daily thought. Yeah, you thought I was doing an outro. I'm going to go into a daily thought. So one of my dad's best friends in high school is this dude who used to work at middle school. So I like knew him before I knew my dad knew him at all, right? And so he worked at my school for many years, and then he ended up like phasing out, and he does something else now, I guess. But he's had diabetes all his life, and he ended up getting his right leg amputated at the knee, and his left leg amputated at the ankle. And he's a regular at Canton, and so he called in. I want to say on like Monday or something. Maybe it was Tuesday. Might have been yesterday actually. Now that I think about it, because Yasmin was there. I think it was yesterday. But he called in. And all the days blend together, by the way. But he called in, and I was like, Rob Lerman, how you doing? And he was just like, what up, Willie? Oh, yeah, I got nothing to complain about. You have nothing to complain about? An actual amputee who has prosthetic legs that he is practicing to use told me to my face he has nothing to complain about. And all of a sudden, all my problems don't seem so big. And I was just like, God damn, bro. Nothing to complain about. Alright. That's crazy. I'll remember that. And yeah, that's my daily thought, is just an amputee told me nothing to complain about. And it really fucking changed my life. That is crazy. So yeah, anyways, I hope you all had a wonderful Thursday, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Have a good night.